Alright guys, we're back with some more Muv Luv. We're ready. We're going into battle. Not like to the capital, but we're doing some other shit. We're going to like one of the mansions of the royal family or something. Like on a side mission. We got the squad, we got the Stampeders, we got Tsukiyomi and Marimo's also coming, I think with like a tank squad or something, so I'm excited. Let's get right into this. So we're finally gonna get a piece of the action, huh? Yeah, fuck it though. Just purge them all. Yeah, not to disrespect the guys on the front lines, but I'm glad we're just guarding the rear. As to that's probably where we'll be most useful. Hey, by the way. Oops. Well, I ran into your dad earlier. Here, he wanted me to give you the souvenir. Did he? I thought he just gave it to us. But I guess that's nice. I don't know. I actually don't remember. Maybe he did ask us to give it to Makoto. Is it the Moe head or the bird or something? I forgot what the second one was. It was like a bird lady, right? Yeah, twice actually, but I forgot to tell you the first time. Sorry. I just happened to bump into him on the way to Yuko-sensei's office this morning. I can't tell her the truth, obviously. What gives? I thought she'd be delighted to have this. Well, I'm guessing she's probably conflicted that her dad didn't visit her. Well, he was here twice, you know? Though, to be fair, I actually think he non-ironically might have just forgot to visit Mikoto, because he said he would visit her the first time. But I think he actually just forgot, which is funny. Because that's his whole cover story, right? Whoa, what? You don't want it? Because I don't want it. Unless it's the Moe head. I like the Moe head. I don't know about the second one. Aw, now you fucked up, Takaru. If you're trying to just be nice. You think? Yeah, you're one to talk. Wait, why does she seem so down? Why do you think, dude? Maybe she knows what her dad's been up to. So, what does your dad do for a living? Okay, she definitely doesn't. Though I guess she could, and she's just covering for him. Because I guess you wouldn't want to tell people that your dad's a spy, but I'm pretty sure it's the former, where she just doesn't know. Wow. So even Makoto doesn't know his true identity. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it after all. Huh? Wait, so then maybe she does know? I don't know. I don't think she knows. I think that's just his personality. But maybe I'm not giving Makoto enough credit. Haha, I think I'll be fine. Besides, I'm sure he could get us out of any sticky situation. He seems to have an uncanny knack for that sort of thing. Guess the apple really doesn't fall far from the tree. That sounds exactly like Makoto. Yeah, you're right. I can't tell whether she knows what her dad does or not, but either way, it's obvious she's worried about him. In times like these, I can't imagine anyone not being at least a little worried. Especially after hearing what happened to class rep sad. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's a sensitive subject. Dads. We're out! Nice. You like rarely went outside in Unlimited. Get to see the world. Kind of. Ooh, even Marimo suited up. I thought she's in a tank though. Maybe she is in a TS stuff. Why does her suit look... Why do we get the see-through ones and she gets the nice purple one? That's less spicy. Okay, looking clear. Todashima. Okay, no. I thought that... I don't know if that's a real place or not, but my dad used to live in Tokushima, I think. But he moved to Nagoya. Todashima. Japan. It's not real. Well, Tokushima comes out. I'm guessing it's fake. Nice place though. It's next to a city called Naruto, which is kind of funny. I knew Naruto's like... Actually, never mind. But it is called Naruto, which is funny. They're famous for like seaweed or something. The rebels have their hands full as it is. They can't afford to send troops out here. Mount Byobu. Are we Alpha or Bravo? I think we're... I forgot what the teams were. We're not on... I know she put... I'm pretty sure she put Ayamine and Chizuru on a team, which is funny. But I don't think we're on it. I think we're on the opposite team. But I don't know who else is on it. What are we? We're number 5, right? Nobody said a word since we left the base. Maybe the tension's starting to set in, and they're all coming to terms with the fact that they might just die out here. I've never actually fought the beta, but after 2 years of deployment following Alternative 5's implementation, I'm well acquainted with that feeling. In any case, these guys might be a bit nervous right now, but I don't doubt they have the necessary resolve. Of course, I imagine they'd be more comfortable risking their lives fighting the beta than going up against other human beings. And more than anything else, we're probably hung up on the fact that everyone's families are somehow connected to this ugly situation. It's like we're walking on eggshells trying to be extra considerate of one another. I know that's just the way people respond to things like this, but we're in the middle of an operation. We can't afford to be climbing up on each other like this. What, you want to break the ice then? Hey guys, did you know Hakone is famous for its many hot springs? It's also famous for that like really long race they do. They have like a 3-day marathon where they like sprint. It's like a relay race. I only know this from an anime, which name I forgot, but I know it's a real thing. Marimo-chan should have heard that too, but she didn't say anything. Well, maybe it doesn't mean that they're like not focused. Maybe they're just super focused right now. Like it don't need to do some idle talk. Maybe she can tell what I'm trying to do, so she's letting it slide. Once this mission's over, it'd be nice if we had the time to just relax in one, huh? Maybe I'm being insensitive, considering that class rep must be going through, or what class rep must be going through right now, but this is the only way I can think to clear the air. Sounds good, right? Hell, we could take a dip together if you guys aren't too embarrassed, that is. Ha ha ha. Hot springs, man. The good old days. Though, this happened like after he got transported to Unlimited, which is kind of funny. Actually, maybe it didn't. I forgot. He got transported while like listening to Mei and Sumika. So I forgot where that is in reference to this scene. I still remember when we all went to one back in my world. Damn, get owned, kid. Oh, so I guess it made sense Taku's number 6, because he came last to the Strahd. This is 06. Hey, you're not dead after all. They're just dialed in, man. I don't think that's a bad thing. They're not just chatting. What if you're just chatting about random stuff and then you get ambushed? I'm surprised class rep wasn't the first to respond. I was pretty sure she was trying to chew me out for that. Just goes to show how out of sorts everyone is right now. Crap, I knew I took it too far. Nope, they made contact in the real battlefield. Huh? Those stupid thuds, they actually went and did it. Oh shit. Let's hope our reinforcements there get there fast then. Infantry soldiers, then what, they're using small arms? That'd be really funny, just using a fucking assault rifle on those like Giga TSFs, whatever they're called, the Mia Kazushis. I don't know how to say their name. Just start nuking the place. Ah, he's losing control. GG. Those dumbasses. This is insane. What the hell is this Sagiri guy even doing? Can he not even control his own troops? I mean, they're probably tweaking out, right? Because they know UN's coming. UN and America's coming. And once they come, they're gonzo, actually. So they're probably like, oh, we gotta take this right now or we're fucked, right? I can understand the pressure. Okay, yeah, okay, so we're already attacking other people. All it took was one foot soldier, one idiot who couldn't handle the pressure, and now everything's going to shit. The Shogun wasn't acknowledging them, no matter how long they waited, and the more time passed, the closer the IJA and the UN troops came to launching their counteroffensive. I can understand why they might get a little antsy, yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're in a pot of boiling water, and it's starting to get hot. But if you're rebelling for the sake of the Shogun and the people, you should be able to fucking deal with it. Yeah, it's harder said than done. Alright. I'm such an idiot. I thought everything would be resolved in no time once the UN got involved and the Imperial Army marshaled enough forces to tip the scales. I don't think they would just surrender, honestly. If they went that far. I'm sure they have, like, the death penalty. They probably just all get killed anyway. Well, maybe not all, but, you know. At least the leaders. But now there's a real war going on. All because of that one stupid soldier. Listen, it could have been a couple. They said a couple of infantrymen attacked, alright? Oh, we're at Tokushima. They said they might be a little spicy because it's Japanese owned and we're from the UN. They think Maya's presence would mellow them out. And we have some royal guards, so... It started to snow. I don't remember that happening before Christmas Eve last time around. Well, we are, like, kind of far away, right? Oh, so apparently we're at a higher altitude than Yokohama. It probably did snow in Hakone, and I just didn't know. Yeah. Look at that. Festive. I'm sure they have heating in the TSFs. It's so quiet here. Hard to believe that there are people killing each other in the capital right now. We can't see the muzzle flashes or hear the gunshots, of course. Out here, it's hard to even imagine there's a rebellion going on at all. Sure enough. Mia looks fine, but she must be worried sick about the fighting in the capital. But man, I'm kind of shocked that those buildings are still perfectly intact considering this used to be beta territory. Maya? I've only seen Maya this despondent once before. Yeah, back when Mount Tendon erupted. But she seemed much more on edge back then. Right now, it's more like her mind's just somewhere else. ベータの支配地域は自然が根こそぎやられるというのに、この辺りの山間部はなぜか手つかずだったらしい。Well, maybe they don't need like mountains, because they like live underground, right? Well, I mean, I guess like a mountain sounds like it would be kind of a sick base, but I don't know how the hives work. Maybe they're not big enough or something. Like they'd have to, and then it's just kind of a hindrance digging under a mountain. Yeah. Mount Tendon was like that too. All the trees and the houses were left intact even though it was once beta territory. I found that odd, so I did a little research and learned the two greatest mysteries regarding the beta invasion of Japan. The invasion began when beta surfaced at Kita-Kyushu around the Sanin region. They proceeded along the western coast up to Niigata, while others crossed through Chubu to Atami on the eastern coast before heading due north and invading Yokohama. The first mystery is that for some reason when the beta got all the way to Yokohama, they suddenly turned toward the Miura Peninsula. It's the only reason the capital remained intact. Maybe mountains are their weakness, but I don't know how you would utilize mountains. And the second was that they left far less destruction in their wake as they made their way east across the mountains of Chubu. I remember one theory was that the invasion was simply slowed down by the train. Could make sense. Which ones? この東ヶ島城には近衛軍第24連隊が踏みとどまったのだ。Hold on, Tama has her own river? What that? Wait, they actually stood and fought? Damn, must have been one heck of a regiment. They must have been completely cut off from any supply lines, with no hope for any reinforcements. They were probably prepared to die guarding this fortress. 京都で救助警護を担当していた第3連隊の生き残りを中心に再編された部隊だったからな。I see, that makes a lot of sense. They couldn't bear to see another imperial palace destroyed. 本州が奪回されるまでの数ヶ月間、幸いにも小規模な戦闘が数回発生したのみだったそうだ。この城が健在である影には、そういった話もある。Made sense. Yeah, they hate mountains and they're sieging against some very determined people. Kind of made sense that they wouldn't take over fully, I guess. Months? I can't imagine they had enough ammo to last them that long, let alone food for a whole regiment. いかに近衛軍が将軍の守護をその任としているとはいえ、離れ城を守るためだけに踏みとどまるとは、いささか度が過ぎていよう。Maybe there's something secret going on here? Little secret tech? Yeah, exactly. Secret base here? You digress. Come on, you're not fooling anyone. A story about a bunch of overzealous soldiers doing something the Shogun never would have wanted out of loyalty to her. That's a little on the nose, don't you think? Yeah, but it's different. I don't even know, like, I mean, I'm sure they're loyal to the Shogun, the rebels, but I don't even know if it's like the same kind of loyalty. Because the rebels are like, yeah, everyone but the Shogun's like corrupt, you know. The government's corrupt. Yo, we still love the Shogun though, that's our authority, but I think they're more like anti-government and they're just using the Shogun as like a, what's it called? Almost like a smoke screen to justify their invasion, basically. Like, I don't think they're actually like super zealous about her. But that's just my assumption. But I did timing because I wanted to talk to you about something too. There's something I wanted to ask you, is that okay? See, we're connected to Maya only. Oh, two, I did it. That's how you know who you're connected to. Kinda like this screen. Status, can I see anything else? I can't really tell. This is like altitude, or like with the head, right? But Maya's covering it. Bullet count? Or what's equipped? And the bullet type. And that's ammo? Yeah, 2,000 rounds. 6 rounds only. There's something I wanted to ask you. Is that okay? What? Oh. Not allowed to do that. Whoops. Yeah, it says a girl who totally did the exact same thing in the previous timeline. Did she? I don't even remember. Look, I don't want to beat around the bush, so I'm just gonna cut to the chase, alright? Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions here, but I'm guessing you can at least somewhat sympathize with the rebels' cause, right? True. I think, yeah. We had that whole debate thing, and the rebels are using that like also as one of their cruxes of their argument that the government sucks. Even though it was the right thing to do, the mountain just hasn't erupted yet, right? Well, there's the stuff you were saying yesterday morning. It sort of gave me the same vibe as Captain Sagiri's speech, though not quite as extreme. Yeah, I probably shouldn't say this in open channel. Don't really want to hear justification for it, especially like in front of Cheezer. Right, and like I said in the PX, I can see where they're coming from too, but that doesn't mean I support them. That's fair. That's the best thing you can do, I think, in general. When like someone's doing an argument and you want to see where they're coming from, but like just because you understand what they're arguing, it doesn't mean you have to agree with them. I feel like a lot of people get twisted, like if you like have a semblance of like understanding, like since people are so like tribal over stuff. I like that mindset though, of understanding and just being like, okay, I get it. I get why you're feeling like that. I just disagreed. Hell, a few years ago I wouldn't even have been able to comprehend it, but something happened to me a while back that I think helped me appreciate their way of thinking. And I suppose it's you who helped me understand it, albeit in the previous timeline. But even so, I don't think I'll ever understand how people can start picking fights with one another when the survival of the human race is at stake. Do this shit after we kill the beta. Basically. Sure, a lot of the stuff Ayamne was talking about made sense to me, and I didn't understand what Maya's saying. But like, that's like, again, it's different because Takaru is here from a different timeline, so so since it's not really his home, it's easier to detach himself and like see the bigger picture. But I feel like in a lot of people's life, it's much harder to just see the bigger picture. Because if everyone saw the bigger picture, there'd be like no wars and all the countries would be friendly, and then we can advance technology and I don't know, go colonize Mars or something. But it's just like hard to do that, even though people should be able to. Heck, I don't even. Tatra's position just makes it so much easier, because again, you get this sort of detachment from the world. Obviously he still cares, that's why he's fighting to save the world, but it's different because he hasn't lived here his whole life. But if they knew the horrible future that awaits us like I do, I think they'd change their tune. And I guess, like, yeah, not everyone, I mean, literally, like, no one knows what Alternative 5 is, so that could change stuff too, I guess. I saw the dawn of Alternative 5 and the people left behind to fight a hopeless, losing battle. Who knows if the Migrant Fleet ever made it to their destination in one piece? I do. I've seen it. They're good. They're Gucci. Plus you have a kid. None of them know the future I know. Yeah, go for it. Humanity. To change the future. But I can't tell her that. Even if I did, she couldn't possibly understand. Just say for survival of the human race. Or reclamation of Earth. Because I guess survival of the human race is actually just alternative 5 also. Maya doesn't know about mankind's impending doom, and neither does anyone else in the squad. Which is why I need to talk to her. I need to figure out why these people choose to fight one another. And in doing so, hopefully I'll understand how to make them understand. I don't know if you didn't... I don't think you have that big of an impact, Tataru. You're just a dude. You don't have that power. Though maybe Kozui could do something. Because I don't want to lose to the beta. I want to win. That's what I'm here to do. I think that's pretty reasonable. Yeah, what about it? And it's like saying at all costs. I don't think Tataru doesn't mean it at all costs. Or like, but it is the main thing, right? Yeah, I mean it does matter to us, the end result. Well, maybe not as much Tataru, but like for Kozui and stuff like that. Because obviously you don't want like the future where like America basically just takes over the whole world after the beta are done. They're like in the position to do that. But Tataru doesn't really care that much. Because again, he doesn't belong to this place. That's why he's detached. I know that. Because he's literally just gonna leave. He's gonna beat the beta and just like, yo, I'm going back to my timeline. Later, nerds. I know that, but how could anything be more important to Japan or humanity as a whole than defeating the beta? True! The Tsukiyomi question. That was such a good hypothesis. He just couldn't answer it. And he was like, oh, what does that matter? It's not the same scale. No, that was like a perfect 1-to-1. And it was great. It's because people aren't capable of just doing what's best, the greater good. People have their own biases. Yeah, just over 25 years. It's a long time, man. Like, for some people, like Maya, like their whole life they've been at war. Like, 25 years, like obviously in the scope of the planet, it's not long, but like I'm 26. If I was in that world, my whole life I'd basically have been like at war with the beta. I guess I'd be dead because Canada's dead, so never mind. Actually, maybe I wouldn't be dead. No, well, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I know. I mean, things got a little better after we retook the mainland, didn't they? Sure, we had to use G-bombs, but it was still a landmark victory. Yeah, that's what happens normally in war, though, to be fair. Like usually like poor, like, well, it depends. Especially if you're on the losing side. Like in a war, like the country's gonna get poor, there's gonna be like some famine. Everyone's getting conscripted. It's just well, maybe not in modern war anymore, since there's a lot of tech, but you know, back then. Doggedly.
どこかの誰かの明日のため、民の心にある日本という国を守るために命を投げ出すことも厭わない者たちばかりだ。
This came up when I argued with class rep about orders being absolute. and may have mentioned it, but then back when we were at Mount Tendon. What was the argument? She's probably right. The Japanese people of this world, especially the ones I met, all had the same spirit of self-sacrifice in the name of their ideals. I guess with the same shogun, they still kind of, like, that's kind of like the mindset they had, like, back in the past, with the shogun and stuff. That, like, really honorable mindset. Though, obviously, I mean, they still kind of have it, but it's died down a bit since they've been modernized, but yeah. Maybe it's something that develops naturally in dire times like these, but I sure as hell didn't feel anything like that from the average Japanese person back in my world. Yeah, because you're modernized. There's not, like, there's wars, but hell, not, Japan hasn't been involved in a lot of, like, major wars recently. Granted, I wasn't exactly a shining example of selflessness myself, and I didn't even know it until these guys pointed it out to me. Yeah, they grew up in it, man. I know I keep repeating it, but that's like the whole thing, right? He's just a visitor here. And you do the same, I take it. But that only makes me more confused to why they're so willing to fight other human beings. It's not that, I mean, they're willing to, but it's... whatever. Let them cook a bit. Maya?
そうだ。命など惜しくはない。死という現実に恐れを抱かぬわけではないがな。
I'm glad to hear that. I know they're not trying to get themselves killed. If we didn't have the will to live, we wouldn't stand a chance against the beta. But Marimo-chan told me that when you have no choice but to die, you should at least try to find the least shameful way to go. I mean, if you're in the battlefield and you're a soldier, you definitely want to, like, if you're dying, you want to, like, do some damage, right? Before you go. For sure. And she also said that it's okay to be a coward if it means you make it out alive. So save more people down the line. To save more people down the line.
敗戦。アメリカの反属国家政策。在日アメリカ軍という名の占領軍による国土の蹂躙。
Explaining, yeah, America abusing the situation and basically forcing their way in, taking control of it. I guess that's the animosity they feel against them. I mean, that's classic, like, imperialism. That's like classic Britain back in the days. If they're not just outright taking over the place, like, by force. Oh, I'm actually so okay, dude. She was talking about World War II. I mean, that's true. That's what happened, right? America won. They basically, like, modernized the place and changed their government to be a republic or democracy. I think, you know, I think that's it sucks, but it's also, like, kind of good for Japan. Though, to be fair, but since, you know, since they've just been at war and at war again, they didn't really, like, evolve into, like, the modern day Japan of, like, today. So, like, even though, like, America, like, changed their shit, since there's just been war after war, they didn't actually get to, like, fully change. That's why they still have, like, the shogunate, and there's still have that, like, honor mindset. That's interesting. Okay, I get it. I'm connecting the dots, kinda. I didn't realize she was talking about World War II, but that's literally what happened, I guess. Yeah. Basically, Japan's been a punching bag for a while in this universe. They didn't get their, like, little bubble when, like, Japan was super rich and they're just, like, traveling everywhere. And then it popped. And then China has the bubble now. When's the Canadian bubble? When's our economy gonna pop and everyone in Canada is rich? Probably never, honestly. It's sad. Anyways, getting a little off topic here. Yes. We don't feel it because we're not from here, sadly.
将軍家が心の礎として民と共にあったからだ。
It's not like that at all back in my world, but yeah, it's just the way things are here, no doubt about it. In the Japan, I knew that sort of thinking was seen as right-wing nationalistic and warmongering. Yeah, that's true. But it's kind of funny, but because like in a world like this, you definitely can't really be left-wing, right? You have to be right-wing. You have to like have some, heavy military pride, lots of pride in times of war. They don't get to modernize, really, or at least like shape their way they do, like in the real world, or yeah, in the real world. It's kind of funny. Every time I go to Japan, there's always the bus, man. I don't know if you've been to Japan, but there's always like literally every time I go, there's always a bus that passes by with like people with the microphone shouting. Like the first time it happened to me, like there's other tourists and they're laughing, and then my dad's like, "Oh no, it's not actually funny. They're basically like right-wing people saying that foreigners should get the fuck out of their country." But like every time it passes, you just see people laughing because they don't know. They're basically telling them to fuck off. But yeah, so there's still strong sentiment. It's just fringe now. Well, it's not fringe in this verse. For good reason. At least in this verse. But for the Japanese people of this world, the Shogun really is an unshakable source of strength. It isn't just boils down to patriotism, but still, stuff like that can be downright dangerous in times like these. No, I think patriotism's pretty good in times like these. You don't want, obviously you still want to work with other people, but I feel like it's more important. It gives people more motivation to fight in war times. Yeah, they're literally punching bags the whole time. But if we hadn't gotten their help, would there still even be a Japan? Yeah, so I think some amount of change is to be expected. Especially when you consider this is a problem for all mankind, not just us. What makes them any worse than us? You're just saying the sentiment that a lot of Japanese people feel. That their country's just been like fucked for so long. They haven't caught a break. Damn, that means the anime doesn't exist in this verse, right? Because they never had the boom after World War II. Unlucky. Send me back to the extra verse. We don't want to live here. That's how it is in like modern times too. When there's royalty, they're usually just puppets. Well, not in every country, but in a lot of countries, they're more like figureheads. Maybe. I still think like that could be true, or they could just be saying that they care about the shogun, but they just hate the government. I just like, you're like, does it matter, Aiden? A little bit. So what you're saying, it's our strong ties to the UN that's eating away at our country? I see what they're saying, but as an outsider like Tataru, bigger picture, and the UN's kind of based right now, especially since we're planning to save the whole world if Alternative 4 happens, right? You think? I mean, we're gonna get the credit. I mean, Japan's gonna get the credit if Alternative 4 pops off, right? Since it's based around their place, their country. Okay, but what do you think? It must be stupid. Why am I asking the question when I already know the answer? Everything she said and done since Mount Tendon incident is in the last timeline has made it pretty clear where she stands. It's not just that she can sympathize with them, it's plain to see her views are closely aligned with Captain Sagiri's. No, obviously the Shogun doesn't agree, then. So maybe that's why, like, Maya is out here, because she disagrees with how the Shogun's also running shit. But no matter how many times we have this conversation, we just keep talking ourselves in circles. Yeah, I mean, it's politics, baby. Rarely do you convince people who are aligned on one side, right? Like, you can debate all you want. There's like nudges here and there, but when someone's like on one side, it's very hard to convince them otherwise, right? May always says the same things, and I still don't understand why preventing humanity's extinction isn't the top priority. Yes, is it because I'm not from this world? Yeah, literally. I don't need to repeat myself, he understands. Or is it because I don't have the strong sense of patriotism as they do? That could also be it, but that's also just because you're not from this world. Okay, but if humanity loses, and we're completely wiped out, that's it. No more Japan, no more nothing. You realize that, right? I can't imagine that the Shogun would want the people of Japan to prioritize the interests of their nation to the point of wasting valuable time and resources like this. Yeah, it's complicated. We get it, it's complicated. The fact of the matter is that this little rebellion is taking a needless toll on this country, and it's not just Japan, this affects all of humanity. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. They're basically it's just letting America take a little bit of control. Again, maybe funded by America, the rebellion too. That's also a classic strat. I'm pretty sure Britain did that a lot too, and maybe even America in the past. Though I'm not 100% sure. Some people did that though, like funding a coup just to get that government out of power, so once they restructure the government, they can have some influence. But we're not the only ones. America and the UN are both preoccupied with their stupid power struggles too. Yeah, man, that means we're gonna be late for the alternative 4 plans, right? Going back to the Extraverse. They're already planning their post-war domination strategy when there might not even be a world left to conquer. Even the support groups for the individual alternative projects are holding each other back. Meanwhile, the Beta, a group of multiple different species with seemingly no common ancestor or biological traits, are coming straight at us as a single unified body. I don't know about that. If they're hives, then maybe they are different I guess they did say they're different species, but that's kind of hard to believe. That they're like different species all grouping up together with like different wills, but they're like synchronizing their wills. I feel like it has to be like different species, but actually I have no, like, I don't know. I don't think it's like different countries coming together and conquering shit. I think they're all just, it's like if all the humans were unified under one banner, which I guess is what he's trying to say, right? But us, we can't even get a single species to come together. Our nationalities and ethnicities may vary, but we're still human underneath it all. Yeah, but countries will. Nationality will always be important to people. Let's just be honest here. How the hell are we supposed to win like this? Once the Beta wipe us off the face of Earth, it's not gonna matter whether we're Japanese or American, there won't be a human race to speak of. That's the fate that awaits us all if we can't get our shit together. And sure, maybe those guys out there really believe this rebellion is in our country's best interest, but is it good enough reason to put all of humanity at risk? What the hell does the rest of the world care about our government? Yeah, it's just, I mean, he's right, but it's just naive stuff. It's like he just doesn't comprehend human thought at all. Sadly, he's just too altruistic. I want to defend my country just as much as they do, but there's no point in saving Japan if the whole world gets wiped out. No one can protect themselves all on their own, so why can't saving Japan go hand in hand with saving the rest of the world? I don't know why he's ranting to Maya. It's just a pointless conversation, because this won't happen. Right? Yeah, like, who cares? Can't change anything about it. It's just human nature. We're not like ants. We can't just all like bend to the queen and do our duties in like it properly and like min-matching and shit. It is what it is.
軍の合理的なやり方にも利はあるのだ。それは分かっている。
Exactly, there's no such thing as a solution that'll satisfy everyone. We don't have that luxury in this world. If you're feeling too conflicted, then you should probably just go. We're not with the Imperials here, we're with the UN. Okay. I don't know if you should be saying this. If you can't get your priorities in order, then pack your bags and go home. Not trying to be a prick here, but I just don't understand the logic here. Yeah, I get that, Tatu. Shouldn't we put an end to the beta war before we do anything else? Can't the petty infighting wait until we've taken back our planet? Yeah. You just say, I mean, I don't know. He just seems like a kid. Just idealistic kid. Oh, give me a break. This shit is pointless and you know. Just close the line. Why are you arguing with him? There's no, like, this argument, it's interesting, but it's just pointless. Because it's never gonna, it's not gonna be a winner, right? It just doesn't matter. So she's at her breaking point, huh? Then there's no point in talking about it anymore. God, I really screwed that up. I wanted to try and hear her out, but instead I wound up talking down to her. Yeah, that's just bad. But no matter what anyone says, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to prevent humanity's destruction. That's one point on which I'm not going to be swayed. Look, man, I wasn't trying to attack you. You know, you literally were telling her to just fucking quit and leave the UN. That's literally just attacking her. I don't know, man. Even though I agree with Tatu for a lot of the stuff, he's just bad. Bad at talking sometimes. It's the nagging energy. Sometimes it helps him with his riz, but can't really riz in this timeline, alright? Keep that for the extraverse. Yeah, but I would like to say one thing. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter whether we see eye to eye on this. The top priority is victory for all mankind, and that just means... And that means I won't just let Japan die either. That's all. Sorry for dumping that all on you. I'll go ahead and close the channel.
Takeru.
What's up? Huh? Strong? Me? Oh please, you're just feeling mixed up right now, that's all. I mean, he is strong in a way. You know? With the idealisticness. It does seem strong, but again, it's just the anomaly of him not being from here. So it feels like still alien to him, right? You're projecting your compassion for the Shogun and the people into the rebel forces. When you're caught between your sympathy for the people and your duties as a UN soldier, I get it. Huh? How so? What do you mean? The Shogun? What's she talking about? We know the Shogun's a woman. I think they mentioned that before, right? And who's her? Class rep? I mean, yeah, and of course, just to add that Meia's, like, she's family with the Shogun, right? Obviously, she's doesn't feel even stronger about that. Meia? Hey. Just hang it up, man. This is just awkward. I don't understand. Finish what you were trying to say. Come on, just don't leave me hanging like that. It's super awkward. Well, get hanged on. Whoever it is that's being forced to bear their pain alone, I still don't see how there's any reason to be conflicted about all of this. Well, if you knew who, then you would probably see the reason. But that doesn't make me any stronger then. Tama? What are you gonna say? Well, you're gonna have to wait until next episode to find out, because I'm gonna end here. Honestly, going into this, I thought we were gonna go gun blazing, but we are in the rear line, so it doesn't really make sense for that to happen. Though again, pessimistic me thinks that There's gonna be some action in this mission. Like something's gonna go wrong and we're gonna have to pop off, whether it be like a surprise beta attack or the rebel forces. But yeah, good episode. I do like, even though the debate's pointless, it is always kind of fun to hear it. But it's just pointless, right? Like Tataru is technically right, but it's just, it's human nature. I don't know. I do not know. I mean, you would think that with like an alien invasion, humanity would unite as one. You know, like some Watchmen shit. But like the fact that we're not united as one, even though an alien invasion happened that threatens the whole Earth, means that we probably will never unite as like a a single humankind force. Like if this fucking alien invasion didn't do it, then I don't think there's anything that will at this point. So you just gotta roll with it and try the best you can. But yeah, it's just reality. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time. We'll see what Tom is cooking up here. Look at her, she looks stressed too.